Hi Buffett to another video, Buffett another day. Tamima Kubane is return. KZN's government of provincial unity faces its first real test as NFP threatens to leave. The government of provincial unity GPU led by the Inkatha Freedom Party is facing its first real test since its formation after the National Freedom Party NFP threatened to leave the political arrangement. Anyway, that's an illegal government. Illegal government. As an illegal government, the MK should be the government in KZN, guys. If we are fair, but we know in this life there's no fairness. That's why these people, they are a minority. People have voted them less, all of them. Just because they don't like Uzuma, they didn't want them to work with him, but he won proper 45%. 45%, and then you're not in government. That's not the will of the people, most. Yeah, talking about the democracy. The NFP has indicated its willingness to leave the GPU, saying it will throw its weight behind parties committed to service delivery. In a statement, the NFP said it has lost confidence in the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Tamintul. And if people are in KZN, they do see any changes since the IFP took over, since the ANC, they faced the ANC, they voted the ANC out. Do you see any changes? With its single seat in the provincial legislature, the NFP holds the balance of power in the GPU, and its position is important as it contributes to the GPU's majority in the provincial legislature. So with their one seat, they hold some power, and if they withdraw their seat, excuse me, then the GPU would be shaken. NFP President Ivan Barnes stated, the founding principle of the government of provincial unity were anchored on clean, transparent government, efficient delivery, service delivery to the people of KwaZulu-Natal, and the creation of an environment conducive to investment. Central to this vision was an integrated approach to service delivery, with municipalities at the core, as they are the first point of contact with our people. He further remarked that recent events stand in the stark contrast to these principles. At both political governance level. At both political and governance level, there have been no meaningful review of the performance of our deployees from all political parties. I think it's something that some people have been saying, that whichever political party we vote for in South Africa, there will be no change because all these politicians are the same. So we need to change the whole political system. This is the proof. They voted different government in KZN, but still, they're still crying about the same issues. Instead, we have witnessed a steady erosion of public trust, the trust that the people of KwaZulu-Natal placed in all the GPU partners. Furthermore, stances of financial mismanagement and wasteful expenditure, including unnecessary international trips by the Premier, have deeply undermined confidence in the GPU. It is on this basis that the NFP has lost confidence in the Premier, he said. Regrettably, both major partners, IFP and ANC within the GPU, have not demonstrated the honesty and integrity required to sustain genuine cooperation. Our discussions at the formation of the GPU were rooted in a shared commitment to serve the people of KwaZulu-Natal. However, what we have seen in practice, especially within the certain municipalities, reveals self-serving behaviors and lack of mutual understanding, he said. Barnes accused both parties of having failed to show the necessary political backbone and accountability expected in the government of unit. But Nani Barnes, I don't know which rock you under. ANC and IFP have been running KZN since 1994. If South Africa is crying with these political parties, IFP and ANC are part and parcel of that whole. They part and parcel. So if you want new government, new things, I might say you might go to AMK, which is the rightful government, the party that won in KZN. But yes, since now you have personal vendetta against that man called Jacob, you decided to work with known criminals, ANC and IFP. and it's fine. You don't cry to the people. This has weakened the foundation of the GPU and betrayed the expectation of our citizens. In the absence of honesty, transparency, and mutual respect among GPU partners, the very essence of the GPU cannot stand. The unfortunate reality is that it is the people of KwaZulu-Natal, along with stakeholders from business, civil society, and traditional leaders, who suffer most from this political instability and lack of cohesion. He mentioned that there are ongoing political discussions among political parties in KZN about the provincial's future direction. He added that the recent election results clearly shows that the electorate expressed overwhelming support for the MK party. You're coming to your senses now. MK party should be running KZN with new smaller parties, excluding ANC and IFP, excluding them. We can't give people a chance over and over again. They've proven that they don't care about South Africans. Political analyst Sebo Matombela said that the emotion of no confidence against the premier could be effective if the ANC and MKP decided to follow suit. Remember, there is a stronger influence of the ANC than IFP in the NFP, going back to its formation. Therefore, the NFP could bargain with the ANC and MKP to retain an MEC deployment. The MKP will insist on the position of the premier since the numbers are on its side compared to the ANC in the province. The MKP will let the ANC keep the position of the speaker. The GPU would have collapsed, meaning the ANC in the province is no longer taking directives from the national as it did last year. Political analyst and cultural expert Musa Tulu noted that the only way the premier can be removed is if the ANC backs the motion of no confidence, or if a sizable number of ANC MPLs up to 4 support the motion, and lastly, if a significant number of ANC MPLs are absent from the legislature on the day of voting. It must be stressed, however, that the KZN GPU as a coalition of minorities was always going to be unstable. I'm telling you, it is unstable. It will always be unstable. The 18% of the vote that the IFP obtained is the very meager in political terms, and does not correlate to the power it seems to be giving to itself to govern a province with 18%. I'm playing. In a response to the question, the Premier spokesperson Lindelani Mbata said the Premier of the KwaZulu-Natal, Honorable Thamsanqa Ntuli, and all MECs remains steadfastly focused on the critical mandate of delivering efficient and impactful service to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. The government of provincial unity stands firm, cohesive, and unwavering in its commitment to advancing the province development agenda through through decisive service-driven leadership. Hey guys, this whole English. Tell me what you think, Buffett. Do you think this GPU should just collapse, well, and they give the rightful owner, the rightful government, which is the MK part, its position, or they should work around it? Maybe they will find a common ground one someday. Please comment down below, Buffett, to subscribe, like, Buffett, to press the notification bell, Buffett. Let's grow the channel. The channel is growing like crazy, Buffett. See you in the next video.